What up, everyone? So last night I watched that new Netflix movie, The Gray Man, starring Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling. And let's get to the positives first, because there is some positives about this movie. The acting from Ryan Gosling is really, really good. Unfortunately, I couldn't really get into Chris Evans' character. I think he was way over the top, but it was intentional. I don't know, I couldn't really buy into it, but when they're on screen together, the chemistry between them is really good. Bob Thornton did a pretty good job in this movie. I like seeing him being in a serious role again other than a stupid comedy, because I think he's a really good dramatic actor, so that was really good seeing him again. The Russo brothers produced this, guys that made Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Avengers, and their fight cinematography here is pretty good for the most part. Sometimes there's a couple of choppy edits and that kind of thing, but for the most part the fight scenes are shot really, really nice, and the fight scenes have a good mixed variety when it comes to weapons, different locations, and who they're fighting, the style of the fighting, that kind of thing. I think the movie did a really good job of keeping the variety going and not getting stale. Unfortunately, it does kind of get stale now that I think of it near the middle, because it's kind of like a Michael Bay movie. There's so much action, and that's really all I gotta say for positives. Michael Bay movies, I expect dumb action. This movie, I was expecting it because the trailer showed it, but like plot-wise, this movie really sucks, and I was expecting I thought the story was going to be a lot better, especially how the trailer made out to be. It literally feels like a movie I've seen a million times, just with two good actors in it, and that's really disappointing. I think they could have easily made a better story. There's way too many time jumps, and it just didn't hold together that well for me. I think the pacing was all over the place. There's action, and then you got the government people answering phone calls literally every 2 minutes. If I could make like $10 off every phone call in this movie, I'd be a millionaire. There is a lot of phone calls at the beginning of the movie. It kind of gets annoying. It's kind of unfortunate that the movie turned out this way, because I thought the Russo brothers could have capitalized on this. Other than Avengers and all that, I think I can't remember that other movie, Cherry, that they did with Tom Holland. I never watched that, but I heard it wasn't that good. And every time they, kind of try to step outside their realm and what they usually do with superhero movies, it's always 50-50. I don't know what it is, but I feel like their camera work isn't as good as it is in Marvel. Maybe they don't have a lot of control over that, but I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure they're directing too. And it just, apparently this is like one of Netflix's most expensive movies, and sometimes you can tell it is a beautiful movie in some aspects, but for the most part I felt like it literally felt like not like a cheap $5 Walmart bin movie, but it did feel not as expensive as how much money they put into it. A lot of it looks like green screen. It couldn't be. I'm not sure. Just kind of disappointed. I didn't like Nope, and then I was really looking forward to watching just a stupid fun action movie. So I wasn't looking for a huge plot, but I mean, the action couldn't even hold it together for me. I found myself bored halfway through, I gotta be honest with you. And this movie just did not need to be 2 hours. I think they definitely could have cut some stuff out. There is a side plot of Ryan Gosling and Bob Thornton's niece, which is like a flashback. Didn't really care for that too much either. The acting was good, but it's just how they went about it. I just didn't really care. Overall, I would give this movie a 5 or 6, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not finish it. I was maybe an hour and a half through, and I had a half hour left, and I literally skipped probably that half hour, got to the end, just to watch the fight between Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans because I was so exhausted from watching the movie. And even that fight didn't pay off. Maybe if the story was better, it could have been a better movie. But all in all, I really do think that the first 2-3 action set pieces we get are pretty good. And then it just gets really stale after that, which is unfortunate. This movie could have been, I mean, crazy good with these two guys if they actually took a different route. I don't have any ideas, but just another disappointment, unfortunately. I don't see why they had to go the route they did. I really wish they just made something more watchable and not disposable. Like I said, especially with Ryan Gosling, who's giving it his all. I think he did a really good job. That's what kept me watching. I really do think if they switched the villains around, if Ryan Gosling was the guy going after Chris Evans, I think it would have been a bit better, because seeing Chris Evans as a bad guy just came off really cringy. I couldn't really handle it. I didn't like it. And like I said at the beginning, I know that was the intent. They were trying to go corny. It felt like that, but I wasn't sure if that was what they were going for. So Chris Evans just came off trying way too hard. Overall, all in all, just, I mean, if you want to kill 2 hours, you can watch it, but there's too much government in this that really takes away from the movie. Too many side characters, and if we could just focus on these two guys, have them on screen for most of the movie, it would have been way better. And the script is really weak, unfortunately. I don't know who wrote it, but the line delivery sometimes from everyone is just average, mediocre at best. And overall, again, a 6 out of 10 movie. Very disappointed. Honestly, I think it's a pretty bad fucking movie. That's all I really have to say. Thank you everyone for watching. Go check out The Gray Man if you want to.